Amazon workers have walked out during one of the biggest shopping days for Amazon for the entire year. Now, today and actually yesterday is Prime Day. So now Prime Day is expected to bring about $5 billion worth of revenue in sales. And it's on these days that workers at a main distribution center in Minnesota said that it would be the best time to make the most amount of impact in their quest to, of course, get better working conditions. So now, one of the workers, Safeo Mohammed, said in a press release, quote, "We know Prime Day is a big day for Amazon, so we hope this strike will help executives understand how serious we are about wanting real change that will uplift the workers in Amazon's warehouse. We create a lot of wealth for Amazon," he continued, "but they aren't treating us with the respect and dignity that we deserve." That is awesome. I like to see worker action, and so that's what's going on. Now, as far as creating wealth for Amazon, remember last year, Amazon made $11 billion in profit. Now, they didn't pay a single dime on taxes, by the way, but they made $11 billion an hour. Not revenue, pure profit. So, of course, you would think that Amazon could pay all of their workers fairly. I know they recently gave a good chunk of workers $15 an hour. That's a living wage, thanks to, of course, the work of activists as well as presidential candidate Bernie Sanders. But not everybody gets $15 an hour. Not everyone is getting that wage or these benefits. Remember, there are a lot of temp workers and there are a lot of subcontracted workers that do not benefit from these wages. And so, look, it's really important to point out that even though they're saying, and even though that there are a lot of people now that are making better wages at Amazon, it ain't everybody. And so the fight continues. And now the strike, they said, was this is a community organization at Awood Center. They said that the strike was part of an ongoing effort to pressure the company on issues, including job safety. That's something that doesn't get talked about as much because, look, I talk about wages, I talk about benefits, but another thing that's really important is how safe your job is, and that you make sure you don't get crushed by, merchandise, by pallets or falling racks or whatever. So job safety, very, very important. Not only that, but there's also equal opportunity in the workplace so that everybody has a chance to advance or has a chance to get raises, etc. And concrete actions on issues including climate change. Now, so that's interesting, and that's something, of course, that Amazon, since it has such a large reach and that it has such a large business with substantial amounts of profit, and not only that, but of course sway when it comes to government policy, that they can actually do something about. Whether it be switching to more greener facilities, making sure to get a lot of their power from solar energy, using transport vehicles that are that run on alternative energies. There are things like that they could do. Reducing their waste and reducing pollution, stuff like that. That's stuff that Amazon, they have the money for. They have $11 billion in profit. They can easily work on this stuff, and they can shift some of their resources towards being a better steward of the environment. And that's really, really important. So now, what else too? And if they actually do take some of these steps, they could become a trendsetter in the industry. Again, they're one of the biggest. So they have the economy of scale, they have all the resources, and they could, again, set the trend for other companies that are like them. And so that would, obviously help a lot of people down the line. Maybe some of those subcontractors will start increasing pay and start working as, to better the lives of their workers as well. Especially if you're doing business with a company like Amazon, Amazon could stipulate it and say, look, we're not going to do business with you unless you actually do treat your workers more fairly. So this is more of the hope that, hey, we do direct action, we take action, we do a walkout, we protest, we get attention to try to change what's going on, public pressure really does help. Again, that's what Senator Sanders had been doing as well. Now, speaking of Senator Sanders, speaking of presidential candidates, so far 2 of them have expressed support on social media. You had Kamala Harris, and you have Senator Bernie Sanders, of course. Sanders, in a tweet, he said, "I stand in solidarity with the courageous Amazon workers engaging in a work stoppage against the unconscionable working conditions in their warehouses. It's not too much to ask that a company owned by the wealthiest person in the world treat its workers with dignity and respect." I mean, again, that's really the low bar here. Dignity and respect at work. And it's a shame that you have to fight so hard just for that basic level of, of humanity in the workplace. Now, Amazon employees also went on strike, not just in Minneapolis, or I'm sorry, Minnesota area, but also overseas. 7 different locations in Germany have also done worker strikes. And so, look, from what I know about Germany, which admittedly is not very much, they do have really strong labor there, whether it be labor rights, labor unions, and protections. And so when Germany's there protesting with you, it's very interesting. Now, activists have asked people not to buy from Amazon during Prime Day to show your support for the workers. Now, full transparency, full disclosure here. I'm actually part of the Amazon Partner Program. So now it's that program that if you use a link or whatever, buy something from Amazon, I actually get money. Don't do it today. If you're planning on doing that, don't do it. Support these workers. I 100% support them. And so, and I want to be 100% transparent from you guys or with you guys, because I have made money from that. I haven't made money from that for like a very long time. But if I was making a lot of money, I'd have the same position. Don't buy anything from Amazon today. I know it sucks and it's hard, right? For example, my wife's birthday is coming up, right? Now, I could have ordered something awesome from Amazon for her. I ended up going somewhere else. Why? Because I wanted to, support these workers. I want to stand up for their right to have better working conditions. And again, it sucks. It's hard because the deals are pretty good. But I'm not going to do it because, again, this is principle. This is a stand. I stand with the workers. I stand behind labor. And I will continue to do so until they are treated with respect. They are given, given fair wages, good benefits, are allowed to be represented by a union, because every worker deserves those basic rights. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know how I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on, and you guys will know that you're supporting independent progressive media.